Well, I looked at the topic for today and realized that even though my name is Kitty, I don't have any cat stories, but I do have a dog story. As a matter of fact, it's about one specific dog. I was 6 years old, and well, the dog and I both wanted a piece of food that I was trying to put into my mouth. And yeah, the dog won, so I got bit on the face. And because of that, I've been phobic about dogs ever since. And my mother didn't help that too much. She decided that she would protect me. So when we would be walking down the street, if there was a dog coming in the opposite direction, she would grab my hand and pull me across the street so that we weren't anywhere near the offensive animal. And that only added to my phobia. So I really, really was petrified of dogs. Now, fast forward about 20 some odd years, and I'm 26 years old, and I am now a licensed professional investigator, really just starting out in the industry. And, when you're new at something, you kind of fake it until you make it. If somebody walked in and said, "Can you make snow in the summer?" I would have said yes. And when this lovely young lady walked in, her name was Sherry, and she was blind. And she said to me, "Can you find my seeing eye dog for me?" I said, "Yeah, sure," without even thinking twice about it. Because you see, I'd already found missing children, and I had already found a missing grandfather. So how hard could it be to find a missing dog? I didn't have to hold on to it, love it, marry it, do anything with it. I just had to find it. So that was the easy part. Okay. It turned out that Sherry's dog was stolen by her husband, which makes him a bit of a crappy person. Okay. And he was despicable. He blamed her for going blind because she wasn't blind when they first got married. And so when she was in a terrible automobile accident and she became blind and needed a seeing eye dog, he blamed her for making his life difficult. And then he got jealous of the dog. And for some reason, he thought he could punish Sherry if he took the dog. Well, finding the animal was the easy part. I kind of told a couple lies. Actually, I told a couple big ones. I met his mother. I found out where he was living, and it was in a wooded area down in Medford, New Jersey. And I thought, okay, now I know what we're going to do. So I went over to Sherry's house to tell her that we had to get the police involved to go down and recover the dog. And I'm there talking to her when husband calls on the phone. And he says, "I want to give you back the dog. So much for my work, okay? But it doesn't matter. She's going to get the dog back." But I think about it, and I know he's a despicable person. And so I'm really concerned that her safety's an issue here. So I said, "Tell him we will meet him in a particular parking lot that is very large and should be empty at this time of day, and we'll see him there in an hour." And she said, okay, and she did that. And when I got her in the car, I also called the police, and I told them, because I had friends on the department that I had done a favor for, I said, "Look, I just need you guys to stand by. I don't think I want you visible, but I'd like to be able to call you if I need you." And they agreed. So there we are in this big empty parking lot, and it occurs to me that I'm really dumb. I have set us up for something, for anything. We're alone in the middle of an empty parking lot after hours. And I said to Sherry, "Look, I can't worry about you and the dog and your husband. So if you will keep your hands on the back of the car at all times, or your butt, just lean back against the car, I'll know where you are and you'll hear me talking. But I need to talk to him to make sure that you're going to be safe." So now we're standing there waiting, and we're waiting. And we hear the revving of an engine. And then I see in the distance this red Mustang convertible, peeling wheels, pulling into the parking lot. And yes, it's a convertible. And the dog's in the back seat. And the dog is barking and whining. The motor is making noises. And I move away from the car so that I can intercept them to keep them away from Sherry, because I'm more concerned about her than anything else. And I see him with a baseball cap on, and as he pulls close to me, going at full speed, I realize he also has a baseball bat with him, and he wields it as he rides by, and misses me by inches because I backed up in time not to be hit by a baseball bat wielded by a crazy maniac with a barking dog in the backseat. As he turned in the distance and did a wheelie to come back at me, Sherry heard the sound of the dog, heard the noises, didn't know what was happening, and moved away from the car. And now she is between the car and me. And this other vehicle is coming at us full tilt, and I know he's dangerous. And I run for her, grab her without even thinking, and throw her to the ground and throw myself on top of her so that she will not be hurt. She can't see what's going on. And I feel the heat of the tarmac under my body. And I hear noises, and then I feel the heat of the grill of the front of the car on the back of my bare legs as it starts to run over us. It's right up onto my legs, and it stops. And then there's noises like police sirens and commands being sent, and somebody yelling, "Get out of the car," and somebody else yelling, "Get down on the ground." And I'm still lying there on the ground with the heat coming from both sides, hugging this woman who can't see what's going on. And the next thing I feel is the tongue of an animal up against my cheek, because Daisy has jumped out of the car to save both her mistress and me. And the three of us lay there on the ground, hugging each other. Me hugging Sherry, hugging the dog, crying because it was the most frightening experience. As he is led away, the police want to talk to Sherry, and they leave me on the ground with this dirty, wet, smelly, flea-infested animal. I wrapped my arms around its neck. I put my head up to its mouth. I spoke to it like a baby. I thanked Daisy for saving me. I hugged her, I kissed her. I didn't let her go until Daisy was able to come back and we were able to take the dog safely home. And now I'm proud to say that every pit bull in the neighborhood is my friend. I love every poodle, and I have no problems with dogs at all. Thank you.